players then, Ian Perry, to set that goal up. Jostling for position in the goal square as we get the bounce in the centre square. Rashido been in good form lately. Kirk matching up on him. Little topo by Bickley. John Cock over it now. Rashido and Kirk.
Now, just while we've got the ball up here, we'll try and get one of our cameramen to go down to the forward line on Williams. There it is. And here you go. And that's why Stengline kicked that last goal, because Williams is the opponent of Stengline, but focuses the attention on McLeod. He gets free. Stengline kicks a goal.
Burton towards John Cock. Adams gathers the crumb. High kick. Perry the target. Can't take the mark this time. Well played by Andrew Shawble. And we'll get a ball in Adelaide forward pocket.
See there again, Stengline, when the ball comes in, just runs away from Williams. Now, what's got to happen is Leo Barry is the odd man out. He's got to be accountable for Stengline when he runs loose.
Biglands gets into the back of goods. No free kick. Kennelly missed it. Stacks on.
He's a Monty to kick another goal here, Stengline.
3 or 4 goal breeze blowing to the right of screen if you just joined us. Bigland's ruck work's been fantastic. McLeod, the extrication process, then the push. He'll get a free kick.
Feel for Paul Williams at the moment, although that's Ty Kennelly going over him. Paul Williams is running around thinking, I've got to mind 2 opponents here, but that's just clumsy by Ty Kennelly.
Mind you, the dual Norm Smith medalist made the most of it.
Oh, yeah.
Got the funky beard going.
Is it the helmet strap beard? What do they call that?
Not sure. It's got a name, Dwayne. Tell you, that guy there's got a name. Champion.
Might end up calling it the McLeod.
That's what's in front of him. Breeze from his right shoulder. Got the kick spinning okay, but I think he may have hung it out to the right. Not the best result for Andrew or his club.
Williams to kick in from fullback for the Swans.
Double change set to happen on the boundary line there, Robbo.
Yeah, Big Clark, as predicted, come on the 15-minute mark and bowed. So a double change here for the Crows.
Shawble from the back pocket. We've ticked into the 17th minute of this first term. Craig Bolton, 2-grab mark at half-back. The ex-Lion. Short pass to Creswell. Maxfield. Chip, Jude Bolton. They've worked it well against the breeze to the wing. Changes continue. Fosdyke has come on. He might receive this ball. Playing back in his old home state, Fosdyke, the Norwood boy, where his father was a champion player as well. Now to Matthews, and they're still stuck on the wing. But they've got the loose man now. Craig Bolton, he didn't want to play on. Every Adelaide Crow player, bar one, behind the ball. Long kick, and O'Loughlin gets there to take the chest mark. Also a South Australian back in his old home state.
Great shot, that one, from the wide angle there. Seeing the room that the Swans are trying to leave in front. Now Snyder runs right through it, blocks it up.
Michael Roberts said left-hand goalpost from this angle. O'Loughlin starts at left. It slowly works right as it touched on the line. Is it still in play? Hurst rush through. 4 behind. Just beyond his range. Breeze just catching the ball at the end of its flight.
Big climb by Rhett Bigland. I think he was just intent on the spoil. In the end, almost took mark of the year. Tyson Edwards. Out of side. What a terrific player he's been for this Adelaide Football Club over the journey. Short to Begley, just starting his Adelaide career. The transition to another dual premiership player in Ben Hart.
We'll try not to kick it to Clark, just on the right-hand side of screen.
Back across the ground. Ken McGregor stretching Barry Hall. And Begley's going to get it back. Nice clean use of the footy, if not a lot of ground made. This is longer and straighter down the line. Carey and Saddington. Ball carries those two. Fosdyke working back. The dangerous McLeod's got him. And he's in all sorts of trouble. Free kick. Delivered out of bounds. He's come to play, Andrew McLeod.
fifth possession.
Inside the 50. Long ball to about a 3-on-1. Almost Clark. The boundary line, a good result for Shawble.
Let's have a look at Brett Biglan's. That is a big leap. You can always tell how big they how high they jump. It takes a long time to come back down for someone like Brett Biglan's. Sounds stupid.
Clark got fairly high. Then the ball, in the end, hit him on the back. We'll get another ball up.
Well, also when he's sitting on Barry Hall, he's 194 centimetres.
He's no Kiwi.
Bounce again. Clark and Goods. Goods got out of it, but got crunched by Rashudo. Put him on his backside, and the umpire found a free kick. In the end, it'll go to Kirk. That was a big hip and shoulder. Just after the ruck contest, luckily for Rashudo. How did you see that one, Dermot?
Liked it. He's good, isn't he?
Has always enjoyed the physical side of the game, Mark Rashudo. And he's targeting one of the opposition's very best. Some stagnant footy here for the Swans. Just worth remembering, they are kicking into a strong breeze, so it's not a bad result if you're watching in the Harbour City. To the back and Bode. Picks it up eventually. Gets it to Simon Goodwin, the beautiful mover. Short ball from him. Couldn't find its target. On the ground, and the Swans won't mind that. Kennelly around the body, over the line.
Not only the breeze, though, James, it's the result for the Sydney Swans if they can hold the status here. Let's have a look at Rashudo. Yeah, that's calculated and did it well. But the fact is that they've been inside forward 50 on 10 occasions for only a 7-point lead.
Again, Rashudo outside the 50, loads it up from about 60 out. The carry, no problem. The accuracy, a big problem, and another behind.
11 times they've been inside forward 50 to 4 for only an 8-point lead. So Swannies are hanging tough here.
Carey yet to touch the ball. 3-4 to 2-2. And the Swans taking their time to bring the ball back into play, which is not a ploy that can waste time, because time doesn't start until they do kick it. Short pass finds Creswell. Might give it back to Williams. No. And he eats up some seconds off the clock. Fosdyke short. That's ignored.
Good shot, that, isn't it? It just shows you how tough this next kick is.
Adelaide Crows push their whole zone back. Close to the boundary line, and ball thumped over the boundary line by McGregor, just as Lewis Roberts Thompson, or Lou Bob Tom for short, onto the ground now for the Sydney Swans.
And that's a stack to please Swans fans. 11 of the last 13. They have been fantastic. Nix flamed high. Surely must take a free. No, I think the umpire unsighted on that occasion as Creswell walks the line. Good crowd in. There's the King, yet to officially possess the ball. Clark now in ruck. Got the hands on it. This is Fosdyke, another South Australian grown talent.
Little mini fumble in there just cost him. There's the mark tally. Sydney obviously going to chip it a little bit shorter into the wing, try and retain possession.
Goods with a big job. Clark did brilliantly well. Bickley tumbles it forward. Here's Carey. Almost the one-hander was he held. John Cock picks it up. The handball to Carey. Will have a bounce. Run in and kick a goal. Listen to the crowd.
254th game, 244 of those with the Kangaroos. And interesting quote from Carey in the Football Record recently. He said, "I'm no different to anyone else." Oh, yes, you are. Few people, good judges, so there's been none better. Clark in the ruck, tries to knock it down. Kirk's over it. Bode over him. And we won't give it a takeaway. We'll get another ball up. Kirk, quoted by Buckley today as being the best tagger and one of the best tacklers going around. Bickley getting a bit of it early. Goods in the ruck, down to Burton. Got to kick away quickly. John Cock had a bit of it. Didn't have enough of it this time. Jude Bolton to Fosdyke. Wide ball from Hisbert. Schneider, who started on the bench for the Swans, caught in a double Crow tackle. And will get a ball up at half forward for Sydney. We're into time on. 24 minutes played. A murder of Crows.
Matty Bode, one of those.
Don't ask me what it is for Swans, though.
No. Clark clean possession, although he shouldn't be pinged because it was ricocheted back into him. Bode again picking himself up, a talented young cricketer, Matty Bode. State under-19 teams and first-grade cricketer until he decided to go down the football path, as that's the Swans bench. Clark now with Roberts Thompson, picked up by Laddams. The Crows with the linking run, as we so often see. And the ball to half forward and Stengline, the dish off to McLeod. Left foots it inside the 50. 2 on 3, ball to the back. Carey helps it forward across the line of Andrew throwing.
Well, this is real danger here for the Sydney Swans again, because all ruck clearances from every boundary line thrown bounce down has been 14-3 in favour of Adelaide. So you'd think they'd win this one on the sway of numbers here, and that'll be a shot on goal.
Goods with his hands on. That Stengline helped into the turf, and we'll have a bounce.
Got to really hold it up here and just choke this one down, the Sydney Swans. Otherwise, they'll concede another shot on goals here, and they've done pretty well to this point.
Inside 3 minutes to quarter time. This breeze looks to have stiffened. Goods hacks the ball away. Stolen by Burton. Goose steps, has the shot. And a piece of brilliance from the Birdman.
Week after week I go into the streets and meet all sorts of very interesting people. If aliens were looking for intelligent life forms, they'd be very disappointed. Yep, I mean a lot of crazy fans.
But now I'm proud to tell you I've become a true Crazy fan myself. And why not? Crazy Johns are the best mobile phone retailers in the country, because everyone knows they give the best deals. Crazy Johns are #1 for mobile phones. Call 13 22 99.
Crazy Johns, we love you, mate!
The Crows out to a 20-point lead. Probably about what the winds were, blowing to the right of screen. Clark first hands again in ruck. Almost Stengline. Creswell now with his head over it. And John Cock wraps it up.
The Swans haven't been too bad in the clearances over the last month. They were 16th in the league and probably still hold that, but over the last month they've been right up there for clearances, but they're getting poleaxed here at the moment.
Clark again, overrunning it. Goods. This is Tawney. Got the handball back to Goodwin. High ball to half forward. Carey and Saddington. Look at Carey. Just starting to get involved. Long way out. Drops it inside the 50. Perry will run onto this. Great kick. Good mark.
That's the way Carey chest mark we talked about, and that's the confidence growing in Ian Perry, knowing that somebody up the ground, a key position player, can hit him and put it into space. And he knows as long as he gets to the front and he sprints to the right spot, Carey won't miss him.
Not renowned as an easy set shot area of the ground, this, for Ian Perry. Kicked 3 last week against the Saints, so he's in goal kicking form. He has got the breeze coming over his left shoulder. Kick on the way, and that's what happens. It swings from left to right. So a disappointing finish to a nice build-up for the Adelaide Crows.
You'd have been able to fend that one out, wouldn't you, James? Big left to right, flicker down the leg side.
Might have just made its way through to the keeper, I think, that one.
You would have made out you didn't tickle it. Williams to bring the ball in from fullback for the Swans. Goes with a high kick. Important minute and a half to come in this first term, and Carey might not be getting a lot of possessions, but when he goes near the ball, he's having an influence. Paul Roos on screen.
Gee, that was good then, wasn't it? Carey just decided to give Fosdyke a bump and takes his mind off it straight after, and then Creswell gives him one.
Fosdyke takes it from half back. Maxfield played for the free kick, got tackled by Goodwin after disposing of the ball, and he will get the free at half back for the Swans.
They've choked up the Swans' run off the half back line over the last 10 minutes, so the runner will go out now and say less than a minute, so they'll just try and play it down, hug the boundary line.
High kick, Hall, and Goods. Hall held his opponent off well. McGregor takes the mark. Maybe a chance for a late Swans score. Goes into Goods in a lock-on direction. Getting a hand on the ball, Burton. Well played. Ball taken out by the pro Hart, the masterpiece man at half-back.
See, Brett Kirk coming off the ground, and he was running around straight off the bat on Adelaide captain Rashudo, already taken away from him.
Hall and Clark wrestle. Gets it to Bode. Hall gets it back, imposing himself on the contest. Goes backwards with the kick. It's going to work. Jude Bolton inside the last 30 seconds. Needs a mark.
16 Crows, James, defensive side of the centre.
Inside the 50 with the kick. Kicks it into a nest of them. Although it goes through the hands of Clark to the back and Bickley, who's been very good. Gets it to Ben Hart. And Hart just into open space, hoping that John Cock will be able to run onto it. He will, or it'll go across the line, one or the other. As the clock ticks down. So much to like about Graham Johncock since he came from Port Lincoln a year ago. So not long to go, been an entertaining first term. The Swans, can they get a forward 50 entry? It doesn't look like it. Bode down the line. Carey, good mark. On the siren. Has a think about it. Goes for the standing torp and doesn't really connect. So after going, what, Dermot, 18 minutes without a touch, he had a good finish to the term, the King.
He came pretty good at the end there, didn't he? Wayne Carey started to find the ball there. 3 possessions for the quarter, 1 goal. And they hang in there for a while, the Sydney Swans, but they couldn't sustain the late challenge there. Adelaide kick a lot of red time goals, and consequently...
There is a special quality, undoubtedly, an Italian can bring to a composer like Vivaldi, because I think that they live and breathe the same sort of atmosphere.
The music is so deep and so intense, then only a good person can write the music like that. I think a person with a strong sense of humanity.
Well, as an ordained priest, it was nothing unusual for Vivaldi to take up a musical career. Part of his career was spent at the Ospedale della Pietà, one of the charitable institutions in Venice which supported foundling girls. And he joined that in 1703 as a violin teacher. And was later responsible for providing works regularly for the Pietà. Even sometimes when he was away from Venice, he would post works back.
Dovremmo suonare, siamo italiani. Animo.
In his time, Vivaldi was as famous a violinist as a composer.
thank you. Come in and we'll listen. Because I'd like you to feel happy about it, okay?
Okay.
Now, do you do a level ground?
It's very hard.
It is.
My God.
And also the pitch.
Yes.
have to-
My God. I didn't.
Now, Jonathan, can we have the level down on her new recorded voice a tiny bit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Do you want to hear the last one?
Please. In principle, it's good. A little, don't let the Brahma go too...
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So-
Let's do it one extra time just to have
More debut.
un po' più...
Yeah, no, two extra times. I would like to have good cover on each one.
All right. the
Two
first one.
tiny. So two extra times, okay?
All right.
Fine. Cecilia is very, very suited to Vivaldi. She loves the music. She phrases it extraordinarily. And she can phrase like a musical instrument, but the words are always there and the expression behind the words. When she sings, it's almost an extension of herself speaking.
We are so lucky this little jewel of our music room still exists. It gives us a glimpse of Vivaldi's era. The pupils sat behind screens to play.
There is a myth that Vivaldi was a castrato, and now that grew up, I think, simply because the idea of a man teaching in an all-girl institution was seen by some, particularly later on, as being rather alarming, and so the suggestion was that as a castrato, there would have been no temptation for him. The castrato voice grew up in the 16th century as a result of the demand for male singers to sing the upper parts, particularly in Rome and Ferrara. By the end of the 17th century, the castrato had been firmly established in the opera house as well. And it's there, really, in the 18th century that the castrato has its heyday. And some of the leading singers, for example, Farinelli, who was probably the greatest castrato of all time, could command enormous fees.
There is this huge revival of interest in music written for the castrato. I mean, this was a voice type which is peculiar to opera of the 18th century. And it's, I suppose there's this sort of slightly surgical fascination with the voice.
Chiaro che I castrati avevano delle capacità disumane, nel vero senso della parola, quindi non so, oltre non erano, che poi bisogna anche considerare che di tante persone, di tanti bambini che appunto venivano castrati, non tutti poi riuscivano a fare carriera. Però chiaramente quelli che riuscivano a fare carriera comunque avevano delle doti eccezionali e oltre alle doti virtuosistiche avevano anche delle doti espressive.
The castrato was in many ways the pop star of his day. A leading castrato could command enormous fees. They were phenomenally popular.
Quindi questa fusione tra espressione e tecnica faceva dei castrati praticamente delle vocalità uniche. Se vediamo, non so, la scrittura per i castrati, ecco, avevano questa grandissima facilità anche nei salti. È inimmaginabile, quasi impossibile quasi per una donna riuscire ad avere questa capacità proprio d'ossigeno nei polmoni. Diciamo che forse la mia vocalità si addice più ai soprani secondi dell'epoca oppure agli stessi castrati però soprani, perché poi ci sono i castrati soprani, i castrati contralti, famoso Senesino, Farinelli.
Cecilia, could we speak on the phone? That was very, very, very good indeed.
Nice.
There's one note in the B section, the acuto in 78, but otherwise it is excellent. So we have all A. Do you want to do B again? Or
Yes,
do you
B again. Yes, now we need
Fine.
B.
Okay. So they play from their little coda. Yes, sì, è vero. And then we'll do all B again, but will you carry on to C or not?
Yes.
Fine. Perfect. Bye. She is a very fine interpreter of castrato roles.
Many of the arias are written for castrato singers, and we have no real idea what they sounded like. We do have one very elderly recording surviving from the very beginning of this century of one of the last castrati from the Papal Chapel.
what is more fascinating is the second octave.
Yes. Yes.
In this record with an incredible shape.
Yeah.
And then you really, I mean, when I was listening for the first time,
Yeah.
yeah.
And especially when you think how old he was when the recording was made. I mean, he was in his 60s, I think.
Yes.
And right at the end of his life. It is astonishing that but it's a really slightly disembodied voice. It's
yes,
sort of...
and then sometimes also it's interesting in a way, I mean, because to listen to his voice and to listen to countertenor voice.
Yes.
So this is a totally different
sound.
story. It's a different sound. It's a different vocabulary. I mean, there is some picture. The container really was long.
Yes, huge.
Huge. Little guy, but,
Yes.
but very tall,
yeah.
no? Gelido in ogni vena è un'aria, una delle aree più drammatiche di tutta l'incisione e di tutto questo disco, appunto. E soprattutto il testo è terribile perché parla appunto della perdita del figlio, quindi in un certo senso dell'impotenza di fronte alla morte. È una delle aree più difficili da cantare proprio perché quindi riuscire a mantenere la distanza, diciamo, tra quello che si canta e quello che si prova. feel, especially with Vivaldi, you can really feel in his music that melancholia that you find in a city like Venezia. He's really the only one who was able to catch this melancholia and to translate this melancholia in his music. Quando si canta si prova anche quello che si dice, e provare questo dolore durante un'aria può essere anche molto pericoloso.
Quanto tempo ti è durato tutto questo lavoro per questo disco?
È lungo, è tanto che ci sto lavorando.
Da dove è venuta l'idea?
Ma l'idea è venuta perché inizialmente io avevo diciamo, formato un gruppo dove anche diciamo, con amici, con mio fratello anche che suonava, e avevamo cominciato a fare della musica di Vivaldi, però delle cantate sacre e cantate profane. Poi un giorno mi sono detta sarebbe bello poter scoprire Vivaldi come compositore d'opera e non solo compositore ovviamente di musica sacra. E così ho iniziato a fare questa ricerca e piano piano mi sono avvicinata, come dicevo sono andata a Torino e dove lì sono stati molto gentili, insomma hanno aperto veramente le porte perché anche loro ci tengono. Sì.
Much of Vivaldi's music came to light earlier this century. For a long time after his death, his music was virtually unknown. The impetus really for the modern Vivaldi revival came in the 1920s, when a large number of volumes from his original library were rediscovered in Italy and purchased by the National Library in Turin.
I'm so excited and nervous, I don't know what to say, because we are in front of so many treasure. So where will we start? For me it was very, very important to go to the source of the music, to learn more about Baroque music. In the music of Vivaldi, you can feel a lot of change of humor. Yes, you have a quick change. So I think it's not easy listening music at all. So it's like a little bit like the city. It's a city then it's full of people, it's full of things, and suddenly it's empty.
These are highly virtuosic arias. They're almost like vocal concertos, if you like, designed to show off the great singers of his day.
The aria Dopo un odi da Procella is from another late opera, Griselda, which dates from 1735 and was again written for Venice. This aria again uses a simile of a storm, and the character is saying that after the troubles of the storm, good weather will come. Again, the idea of the storm conjures up quite violent coloratura in the voice and very wide leaps across the whole of the range.
I think she's particularly suited to these male roles, not because her voice is masculine sounding, far from it. And in fact, I think that one of the interesting things is that she has this wonderful femininity, but the voice is so richly coloured. It has a dark colour. I mean, it's not a hugely large or voluminous voice, but it has a richness of timbre, which is very unusual in a small voice. And it also, being a mezzo-soprano, one of the interesting things is that most of the great composers of opera seria tended to prefer the low-voiced castrato, the alto castrato, or even contralto. And so this is a great source of repertoire for mezzo-soprano. I mean, we say Vivaldi is a popular composer, but it's actually, he wrote one or two popular works rather than he is a popular composer.
I'm always amazed when you consider that music wasn't published in those days, how much of it has survived.
proprio all'inizio della dorilla di quest'opera o dopo la sinfonia c'è questo coro e questo coro ricorda, diciamo, la melodia del coro ricorda un po' la melodia, diciamo, una delle melodie delle 4 stagioni di Vivaldi.
Well, Stravinsky called Vivaldi a greatly overrated dull fellow. He was supposed to have thought that he wrote the same thing 500 times over, which is a little bit unfair, I think.
I don't know if it's really true or not.
But anyway, I mean, I don't know if Stravinsky can have known very much of Vivaldi's music. I mean, at that time, the Vivaldi revival wasn't really underway.
I'm sure Vivaldi would be amazed to know that we were listening to his works now in the 20th century, almost into the 21st century. Like all composers of his day, he wouldn't have had any concept of writing for posterity in the longer term. Composers then wrote for that moment. The public demand was largely for new music. They didn't want music that was 5 years, 10 years old normally. So the idea of keeping music and playing it over and over again for centuries would have been totally foreign to any composer of that era.
Vivaldi's musical output was enormous, but fairly normal for a composer of this time. So far, more than 700 works have been authenticated, including sonatas, concertos, cantatas, oratorios, and of course, operas.
Well, we know that Vivaldi had a very close relationship with the mezzo-soprano Anna Giraud for the latter part of his career. Now, that close attachment led to various stories. He was putting on opera at Ferrara and was actually banned by the Archbishop, who objected to a priest who didn't say Mass and to a priest who had a liaison with a woman, Anna Giraud.
This theater was opened by Vivaldi with La Fidanza in 1732. So this was the first opera that was performed in this theater. It's still working theater, of course, it doesn't look the same as before, but at least there is performance, there is a regular season.
It is strange that Stravinsky's buried here in Venice without a particular connection to the city.
Yes, it is. If you think that Vivaldi, we really don't know where Vivaldi is, and certainly it's not here, not in Venice. Apparently maybe in Austria, in Vienna, but it's really, I think it's really strange.
Vivaldi ended his life in Vienna, and although we know very little about the last couple of years of his life, it seems now clear that he went to Vienna to put on opera. He appears to have had no success because we have no record of an opera being performed there before he died, and was given a very unextravagant funeral, rather in the same way that Mozart was some years later.
It is strange that both these geniuses of music suffered the same fate and were probably buried in a common grave. All we'll really have left of him is his great music.
When they start to crowd in on you, you get 2 or 3 defenders up at once so they can just kill the thing.
Mark Bickley also been very good in that clearance situation. They're looking for it again here, Adelaide. This time Rashudo with his head over the ball, got it to Shirley. High, inside the 50. Carey sits and waits. Staddington too, almost the king. Not quite. Adams pleads, but I don't think it was there.
With interest again. Big high ball. And still goes for the chest mark.
And never controlled that. In fact, his opponent sat on it.
Never touched the ground, though.
Goods. Down to Fosdyke. That kick smothered, I fancy. Sliding work to Kirk was good. His handball to Fosdyke if he can be clean. Got it to half forward now, Davis. Dangerous player, looks around. Michael O'Loughlin in some space. Look at Mickey O. Excellent football.
Yeah, Benny Hart did everything right then. As Davis swung to the middle of the ground, you'd assume that the lead will come out that way, but Mickey O'Loughlin knows that Davis is such a good kick with good vision. He pulls the other way and just gets the 1 metre drop on Ben Hart.
Some exciting forwards on display at Amy Stadium today. The 2 involved there, Nick Davis and Michael O'Loughlin.
A good story for the match here this quarter, because Adelaide concede the least entries of any team inside their defensive 50, and the Swans, once they get inside forward 50, are the most accurate side. So we could find the story of the match in this quarter.
Ball should swing from right to left. Started at the right goalpost and trail it back in. Look at that. I think he might have just steered that through, and that's very good result for the Sydney Swans.
Michael O'Loughlin's first goal of the year, first goal of the game, 31 for the year, kicked 30 last year. And once again, we don't get a takeaway in the middle, we will get another ball up. Umpires Matthew James, Michael Vozzo and Scott McLaren. McLaren about to thump the ball into the turf. Biglands and Goods. Once again, no one can break free with the ball. Kennelly tied up by 3 Crows, and again umpire McLaren to do the honours. Nigel Smart in his testimonial match in the testimonial year, still with the rug on. Jude Bolton, high possession first term, that'll count even though it wouldn't have counted if someone had marked it. Tawney didn't break free, so Begley does. Gives to McGregor, high kick towards half forward. Carey's the danger man. Staddington took the mark. Umpire said it was legal, gave the ball to Williams. next possession. Wobbly ball from his boot. Goods attacks it hard. Left to behind. Bickley, 60 from goal. High kick, goal square. Perry one-on-one. Shawville got the fist on it. Claims the mark. Free kick against him. Umpiring explaining.
At the clutch, he's calling the bear hug before they get there. That's it. The point of it would be this left hand wrap around the elbow.
It seemed worse than that. Let go, Dermot.
Oh, no doubt.
And from here could kick it with his eyes shut. Straight over the goal umpire's hat.
Doing it well. Bigland's doing it well, although Goods was great on this occasion. Got it to Jude Bolton. Around the body. Goodwin. Bowled over by Lachlan, and he'll get a free. Simon Goodwin missed a lot of the season with injury. Knee first, and then the wrist into the MCG wall.
Was there much wrong with that?
I would have thought that very best line ball. Let it go. Yeah.
Shirley will give it back to Goodwin. Makes him stretch. And that's nicely done to the former Tiger in Jason Tawney. Down the line. Forced to really focus on the ball there. Stengline. Bassett overruns it. Maxfield picks it up. He's got options inside the 50. Kennelly's one of them if the ball will sit. He keeps it in. Does that really well. But Begley leads in the race. And the steering, clearing kick was nice to Hart.
Edwards away for Hart at half-back. Wants an option free upfield before he gives it away. High kick. McLeod. The Ferrari.
Poor decision by Maxfield when he hooked that ball back over. Had Kennelly in space. Just panicked the kick a bit.
He wants Carey. Goes high in his direction. Front spot Shawville, and they won't take this off him. Takes the mark at full-back.
Been a fine play for the Swans, Shawville.
Absolutely. Good breaking for him.
Shorty goes to Fosdyke.
Adelaide. Shaky kick from here for Nick Fosdyke.
Their forward pressure, Dermot's been outstanding. The Crows, they have not allowed the ball easy passage out of their forward 50. Must kick to a one-on-one. That's a good mark. Davis playing a good game on a good player in Simon Goodwin.
Got to get Barry Hall to come up from here. He's 90 metres down the line, and another possession, if they win it here, will go over his head.
Kennelly and Begley with the fly. Goodwin with the collapse.
That's that situation as a centre-half forward. The kick that comes to the wing, you have to reach it to be one of the contest, or you stay back. So if there is a possession going your team's way, you're at least in line for the next one. He came halfway.
Adam Schneider, who's kicked 24 goals this year, preparing to come on as Tawney takes the mark at half-back. Shirley runs the wing, wobbles it towards half-forward. Matthews couldn't get there. Barry, who ruptured his spleen here last year playing against the Crows. Maxfield, now Williams. Lachlan on the move, got a hand to it, and the Crows with numbers at half-back. All flooded back. Burton made it tough for McGregor. In fact, he made it perfectly because McGregor had to give it back. Chips the kick. Johncock takes the mark at half-back.
Goodwin breaking for him. The kick needs to get to him. It's hanging in the air. Saddington did well with courage to go back. Carey just hacks it out of the air. Leo Barry leads in the race. He's grabbed by the strides. Saddington over the top. Crouch now the recipient. The game stepped up a cog as the Swans through Bolton try and get it to centre half forward. Here is the man Dwayne Russell just mentioned, Snyder. He's got pace. He goes off the ground. Can again for a goal for the Swans. Fantastic.
Started to move the ball quickly again. Started to get the ball coming from defensive side of the wing very, very quickly, and they look dangerous. Look very dangerous doing that. Bolton getting into play there. Got a touch of pace here. No doubt about that. We've seen him this year come into the scene. Also, Leo Barry's just had an influence over the last 2 or 3 minutes. He's broken off the half-back line, And for the first time in the game, we've seen Leo Barry just break open the midfield of the Adelaide Crows.
Bigland's down to Kirk. They get the takeaway. Maxfield caught by Tawney. Burton caught by Kirk. Kick half smothered. Stevens, Jude Bolton, Creswell. He likes these. There's a sit for him. No. McGregor toted away from the danger area, and Hart content to accidentally fumble it across the boundary line. 2 goals each this quarter. 7 goals plays 4. Biglands to do the ruck work against Barry Hall this time. Hall doing the ruck work in the forward line. Maxfield, O'Loughlin. Too far out to score. Goes for the centering ball. Rashuto takes the mark at fullback.
And will square it to Edwards.
Got to stop.
He's got a short option. He's waiting for a longer one. Stenglein presents that. Kicks it to a 1-on-2. Davis closes on it. Leo Barry, the man Dermot mentioned, also getting involved. Nick Davis. Beautiful delivery to Barry Hall on the wing. Fosdyke this is. To half forward, Stevens. Just unable to hang on. Edwards comes at him. He spins out of it well, Stevens. Kick to centre half forward. Mark Bickley takes the mark. The handball slightly in front of Nathan Bassett. Big Barry was a little crude. And Nathan Bassett will take a free kick. Mind you, his head went down, but still, the free kick was there. The handball off. Adams goes high. Begley with a climb, unable to take it. The ground level ball starting to be won by the Swans.
Yep.
O'Keefe to half forward. Stevens with an arm held. Kirk goes hard at it. Stevens with his head over it again. The handball forward to Schneider. Can he kick his second in a minute? It's bouncing the wrong way. Exciting player, Adam Schneider.
He just has that little knack, doesn't he? Finding a little bit of space. He's got some pace off the mark, and he's just been able to get under the guard of his opponent.
Grew up with his own oval in the backyard at Osborne.
Fair effort.
It's a handy thing to have. Long kick by Hart. Out from fullback. Rashuto caught by Stevens. And we'll get another ball up. Free kicks, interesting. Adelaide 4 this quarter and leading 9-4 in total as Matthew Clark prepares to come on. Biglands, he'll be replaced by Clark shortly. Edwards stole it. Goodwin from half back towards half forward. Ronnie Burns on. Barry knocks it away from him. McLeod caught by Williams. The full 360 revolution. No free. Barry to Nix. They've worked it pretty well. Crouch wide to Williams. Creswell had to bend down, reach for it. He gave it to Bickley. Now the Crows away. McLeod, wide ball from his boot. Perry! Great touch. Open forward line. Ronnie Burns is there. Carey ducking back towards the goal square. Goods. A crunch coming. Carey knocks it down. Shirley twists, turns, caught, gives it back to Carey. Ball, the umpire says.
Michael Vozzo got that one totally right. He goes for the twist here. And umpire Vozzo says, go on, say it, Shirley. You must be joking.
Great tackle from Goods.
Was a good one.
Creswell now down the line. Burton with Bolton. Burton did beautifully well. Has had a great month of football. Brett Burton got it to Shirley. Bickley's been excellent. Laddams overlapping running. 2-on-1 again with Carey. He's got Goods to beat. He had to get rid of his direct opponent in Saddington first. He's not happy. The free kick is going to be awarded to the young Swan. Out he goes to Fosdyke. Has a bounce as he streams out of half-back. Down the line, the ground kicking, the field kicking good. Craig Bolton's got it. Looks like he's been put on to Brett Burton. He's had a free rein. Yeah. Nix now, kick and a half from goal. Inside to O'Loughlin, good kick, thumped away from Ben Hart. Boundary line looming, Jude Bolton involved. Kirk again, steers it looking for O'Keefe and finds him.
He's a bit sore, Michael O'Loughlin, out of that one. Last 2 balls he's led to that have been hard on the lead. Oh, there you go. He's been sconed by it.
Out on the full. The result won't please the Swans fans. O'Keefe has to cough the ball up. And now Begley should bring it away with a handball over the top to Jason Tawney.
It sits for him, but he had to go back. The lead comes from Perry, all the way towards the wing, takes the mark. Good, long, searching lead. Carey provides one now. Ball in his direction. Not a bad pass, but a great punch away by Saddington. And we'll get a ball in.
That's a difference in the Wayne Carey hands. Watch here. Oh. So he just doesn't get them level there. Good spoil just on the left arm. 5 years ago, Carey's strength through his shoulders would have kept the hands level and just gobbled that one up.
Cleverness from Saddington. Knew he couldn't reach the ball to punch that, so just slapped the arm down ever so slightly. Nigel Smart preparing to come back on. Mark Bickley also walking past on the bench. Goods does the ruck work with Clark. McLeod. Toe pokes it to the advantage of Burns. Back to Clark Bode. He gave it over the top. Put this down in the book.
Hands and knees. Clark did well. Now Tyson Edwards high inside the 50. Carey and Saddington. The young man did brilliantly well. But this young man did brilliantly well. 2 and a minute to the close.
Second goal for Graham Johncock. How good was Big Matty Clark in the centre there? This is just a tried and proven formula. Ruckman takes it to the rover, kick inside the forward line. If you don't mark it, your players flush past and with weighted numbers win it forward. Nigel Smart comes onto the ground. You can hear the applause. This is his testimonial game. Bickley comes on. 15-minute mark. Now the Swans just have to not panic here. If they just start blazing away with the wind, there's the cone heads for Smarty. Just got to keep their composure and hopefully put 2 or 3 more on before half-time.
Adelaide out to a 32-point lead, the biggest lead of the game. Matthews, Nix, Kirk, Maxfield. From half-back towards half-forward, O'Loughlin the target. Hart just edged him out of the contest. O'Keefe went man, not ball. McGregor went ball to Goodwin. Fourth to backtrack, Edwards. Clark, Edwards have got the numbers. Now Bowe in some space. Kicks wide. Kirk's got a couple to beat, won't get there in time. The shooter. Play on to advantage. Wide ball, Tawney. Half-back flank. Takes the mark. Short pass to Ronnie Burns. Another one of the live wires. Running up from the forward line for Adelaide.
Like something inboard, the kick needs to be good because Schneider's there and he's got a whole lot of turf in front of him. He can pick it up. Handball to Williams. Williams inside the 50, loads it up and kicks a goal. Well done, Schneider. And a good finish from Williams.
That's the big one, but Adelaide's Big 2 are bringing you the big one at Radio Rental and Homeco with a big $1 first month rental on selected items like TVs, computers, fridges, washers and more. $1 first month rental on selected furniture, plus heaps of $1 bonus deals like buy a TX 80cm stereo TV and get a DVD player for $1 or get fabric protection on selected lounges for just $1. It's the big one at Radio Rentals and Homeco. Now that's twice as big!
Paul Williams keeping the Swans alive, edging close to half-time. Won their last 2 best and fairest, Paul Williams, and his 250th game coming up. 2:48 now this afternoon. From the ball up, Laddams to McLeod, hoping for the instant reply. Ronnie can make amends. Drop punt is just across the face.
Now, Dwayne, that bounce was it's unfair. I mean, it went straight to one team. You got Michael Bozzo bounced it. Matty James is one of the 3 umpires, has never bounced one incorrectly in his life. Why wouldn't you just say, for the benefit of the game, Matty James, you take the bounce every time in the centre. We'll take it around the ground.
Common sense doesn't always prevail, Dermot.
Maxfield to himself and then wide for Brett Burton. Excellent pack mark. Nigel Smart, listen to this when he gets it.
Coneheads come alive.
2 kicks from goal. Just sits it up high. They're all back there. Clark's back there, the fist away. And Kirk can control it to Maxfield. Short to Bolton if he wants him. That's Craig Bolton. 27 points the lead enjoyed by the Adelaide Crows. Bolton further afield again. The field kicking lets them down. Barry Hall courageously in front of him was Burton, giving away a few kilos.
Let's have a look at that centre bounce again. Michael Vozzo's coming in. He'll have the next one on real-time play. Goes way to the other side. And Clark just gets a monster hit out of it.
It wasn't a horrendously lopsided bounce, but there's a better one.
I reckon down the ground shot might have shown it would have been.
Bode towards half forward. Swans under siege. Barry crunched by Rashudo. Oh, he's tough.
He's target number 2. Let's have a look down the ground. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leo Barry. It looks like a blood rule here. Well, I was just about to say, the big hope with the Swans on this ground is Leo Barry needs to get into the game, needs to give them run off the half-back line.
Mentioned it's a horror ground for him. That ruptured spleen last year, and he was his own man.
Friendly fire.
Or was it a head clash with Rashudo?
Yep. Not that one. He goes down and crouches knee. That's when it...
So he got the evener up at one each side.
They make a mess of each other. Goodsy got Kreza last week.
So Leo Barry will have to have a sit down, and Nick Davis will re-emerge from the bench for the Sydney Swans, who've played 23 minutes now, second term, edging close to half-time. And if you have just joined us, it's the Sydney Swans with the breeze for the remainder of this term.
Clean possession. You've obviously got to dispose of the ball very quickly, Ronnie Burns. He's sat on, and there'll be another stoppage.
Both teams playing similar styles into the breeze. The Swans about 20 marks in quarter-1, chipping it around going into the breeze. And Adelaide about 21 in the second quarter.
McLeod breaks it open again. Look at the superstar kick behind.
Yeah, so he had too much time there. Instinct, he would have nailed it off 2 or 3 lesser steps.
He sets very high standards for himself, and it's written all over his face. Look at that. He thinks, man, how did that happen?
I've got to find something here in the next 4 minutes here. The Swans inside 50s. Adelaide 25. They're on target.
Kennelly, big long kick from fullback, almost cleared the head of Matthew Clark. He read it pretty well. Fosdyke caught. Laddams. Can he find a target inside 50? Burns! Just spoiled away at the last second by Matthews. Well played, Matthews. Nicks. Burns might steal it back. Just when you think he's out of it. Saddington almost dished it up for Smart. Kennelly. They continue to be under siege, the Swans. They'll get out of it here. Fosdyke was almost a throwback to Kirk. They've worked it rugby style. Back to Fosdyke. Long kick. Ball's up clear towards O'Loughlin, though. Tried to hit it with the outside of the foot.
Kick.
And goes to Williams, who takes the mark.
Good kick. That is where the Swans are dangerous. 6 or 7 seconds ago, they were under siege at the goal square at the other end. A little miss by Nigel Smart for a toe poke, and Kennelly runs it out with pace. They're a great rebounding team. When you just make an error, they'll hurt you, the Swans.
Good for at least a goal a game, Paul Williams. 248 games, 280 career goals, and last year kicked 21 goals for the Swans. Has 12 so far this season, so needs to add a few more, and this is well within his repertoire. And that is straight through the middle with the breeze. And the Swans coming home hard in this second term.
This time the bounce favours Goods just slightly.
Big one.
Shirley met solidly, and we'll have a bounce. Michael Roberts.
Yeah, Leo Barry straight up the race, obviously to get some stitches in the head, and Rashudo came off about the same time in the first quarter. Kirk off as well. Obviously, that is a set plan.
Goods holding the ball. With the ball, McLeod wide, looking for Carey. He's got it. Hasn't this city adopted this man?
Oh, look at this. Matty James has given Wayne Carey an extra metre grace here. He marked it spot on the 50 in the replay, and he's given him an extra metre.
Kick on the way. Kick on the way. It's there.
Makes a difference, James. He's marked it on the 50. And Matty James has run in and put Jason Saddington a metre behind the 50. You take that kick a metre out, and that is going to end up being touched on the line. This beautiful takedown there, and McLeod spots it. Wayne Carey, watch where his foot is. Just fractionally inside, yep. Well, fractionally. I reckon. No, he's definitely got an advantage there. Probably not a full metre, but when you get to the line, what do you reckon, Dwayne?
I'll reassess it at half-time. I'll get the protractor out.
Getting no support.
None whatsoever.
My microphone isn't working.
Ball up in the middle. Roddy Burns, the takeaway. And he gets it to half-foot, and Laddams has been sparkling. Inside 50, the lead comes from John Cock. One grab. Kennelly, who rode in the middle, got the handle of Stevens caught. Matthews around the body towards onto the boundary line of Creswell. Either will do. Okay, Dermot, I'll have a look at it.
Let's have another look at it.
Okay. Man on the mark there.
Now, he is a full metre behind it. And when his foot planted, when he actually marked it, he was basically straddling it. His foot was on the inside.
With you, Derm. It's a team game up here. You're right.
Bickley claimed high. I'll take a free kick.
You don't believe a word you're saying now.
Inside the 50 goes Bickley. Perry comes out. Should have taken the mark in the end. Schauble will look for the line and will find it. I think it's one of those situations, Dwayne, where if you say something often enough, you end up believing it.
Yeah, I'm going to keep saying it. I'll end up taking it home and making it gospel.
Clark and Stevens. Neither of them touch it. Jude Bolton slaps it cleverly for Maxfield. Williams in the tackle as he received the ball. Bounces it towards Hall. Still time for the Swans here. Maxfield with a bounce. Out of side. Left foots it inside the 50. Here's Schneider. Already kicked a goal, but an impact player since coming on the ground. He's got the wind behind him. Short to Creswell. Creswell will play on. Kick on the way as a goal. Terrific football from Creswell. Schneider has had a big impact on this game since coming on. Creswell's got his second.
And just as well he played on too, James, because I thought Schneider's man on the mark was a little bit too close. No, he's a good set shot, Crezza. Just a really solid kicking action and knows how to set him up. She's an accurate umpire, Matty James, isn't he? Has he got the ball this time? No, Scotty McLaren. Oh, we're full rotation on bounce downs.
Darren Creswell told by the Cats that he wasn't required and has made a great home for himself in Sydney, game 238. Ball up in the middle, Bickley. Stengline gets the takeaway. Carey, another piece of brilliance. The King kicks inside 50 to Perry. Dropped them out. A bye will bounce 1 metre inside the 50-metre arc.
Got to choke it down here, the Adelaide Crows. That's a pretty easy give up by Perry. Make sure that Swans don't run it out with pace.
It's a couple in a row for a man whose hands are normally very solid. Stoppage inside the forward 50. This has been a good quarter for Adelaide, led by 21 points at quarter time. Into the breeze, they've added to that. Clark, the big palm out to the side. Davis had a good first term, been quiet since then. Got it to Matthews. Nice in tight work there by Creswell. Almost found Nix. Creswell will get it back, but his kick's too fierce. Boundary throwing. Last stages of this first half. And it really does look like second against fourth at the start of round 18. It's been entertaining, high quality stuff. Clark with the fist down. Davis, can the Swans have one last shot at goal? At centre half forward, Mickey O just unable to get his hands on it. Ben Hart, he's got the football. Barry Hall holds him up. And that's half time.
The Adelaide Crows 10-7-67 over the Sydney Swans 7-3-45.
Second half of that first half extraordinary. McLeod very dangerous, going to take a look at him shortly. But some good forwards for the Swans. Williams kicked a couple necessary goals in that second term.
Well, Williams' goals coming off the half-back flank and even when he pushed into the centre as well. But it was the Adelaide Crows 10 goals to half-time. Did it pretty fluently too as they moved the ball forward.
Adelaide making best use of the breeze to half-time.
A testimonial for the last of the original Crows. No sense of occasion from Gary Ayres, but Brett Burton brought his best party tricks. Andrew McLeod found himself a little underdressed.
Trouble got that.
And right in the thick of the action.
Got Williams in a lock. Around the body, Stengline with a shot on goal is there.
Into a 4-goal breeze, Sydney made the most of limited opportunities. Ty Kennelly on the end of some neat movement. As was Wayne Perry, who was having no trouble with goalposts this time round, slotting his first before Burton delved back into his bag of tricks.
And a piece of brilliance from the Birdman.
Against the wind, Chris Laddams and Adelaide were still soaring. Not much was going right for the visitors, as the Crows made a mockery of the conditions. To the delight of his legion of fans, the guest of honour finally arrived, but determined to spoil the party, Sydney closed the gap to keep it interesting at the half. Ross Stark, National 9 News.
And of course all the second half action after the news. Now St Kilda has pulled off the upset of the round, handing the West Coast Eagles a 10-goal thumping at the Telstra Dome. Veteran Robert Harvey and rising superstar Nick Riewoldt dominated for the Saints, while ex-Eagle Fraser Gehrig booted 4. The Saints set up the win with an 8-2 second quarter. The Eagles played their best footy in the third. The damage was done. St Kilda and Gehrig storming home to claim the Nicky Winmar Cup. And the Brisbane Lions proved their no-spent force with a 7-goal win over the Kangaroos at the Gabba last night. Alistair Lynch bagged 5 as the Lions roared back into Final Four contention. And Collingwood was forced to come from 3 goals down at half-time to claim the points against the Cats at the Telstra Dome. The highlight of the night was the Chris Tarrant's latest bid for Mark of the Year honours. Tarrant had been forced to leave the field with an ankle injury late in the third term, but returned to fly high in the last. Not a bad grab.
A 22-point lead after leading by 21 points at quarter time. The bounce of the ball to get us underway. Clark to start the term in ruck. Gets the hand down. There's the player we just mentioned, Leo Barry, slung to the ground. Tyson Stengline also. And there'll be a bounce. The Sydney bench, pensive, you would imagine. 22 points doesn't sound like much, but this is a tough place to make ground against a high-quality opponent in the Adelaide Crows. Mark Bickley, who's been very good. Matthew Bode and Nathan Bassett, the players sitting it out in that shot for Adelaide. Clark down. Roberts Thompson claimed. Will take a free.
Nigel Smart given the job on Barry Hall after half-time. Barry Hall 4 marks, 6 kicks till half-time. So serviceable, presented. Smarty gets the job.
Roberts Thompson short to Davis. See what that breeze is doing now. Davis's kick held up a little and well played by Hart to Smart. How often have we said that? Working their way from the back line to McLeod to Edwards. All the geniuses combined. High kick towards half forward. Bounces, gains ground and then rolls across the boundary line. And we'll get a ball in half forward flank for Adelaide. Brett Bigland's getting some work done. Robbo will check out how bad that thigh is. Ball back into play. Clark and Roberts Thompson. Clark wins it down. Shirley couldn't get a decisive possession out. Now he does. He kicks it inside. 50. Schauble can't take the mark. Accidentally fumbles it out of play.
I think he gave a mini little handball there just before he pretended to fumble it out.
Well, when you play fullback as long as Schauble has, you become pretty good at your craft.
Yep. Disguise.
Some grey hair sneaking in there.
Yep.
Andrew Schauble.
Brian Russell's got a few disguises too.
Deep inside the Crows forward 50. Schneider working back. Claimed. There he is. Distinguished Dermot, is that how you call it?
Good bloke, Schreiber.
Ronnie Burns steps around. The handball was slick. This is Tyson Stengline. Standing start. Shot. Going to land in the square. And Schneider working back. Takes a good mark. And then takes the ball away with a couple of bounces. He'll get a Shepherd. Can have a third bounce. Just waiting for Goods to present the left foot kick to that player just in front of him. Got a couple to beat now, Goods. Tawney needs to work hard. Great tackle from Goods. Tawney extricates himself out of there somehow. Gets it to McGregor. McGregor back down the line. McLeod to fly with a fist. And he gives away a free kick in the process.
He's winded out of that crowd.
And that'll keep him out of action, being winded like that for a little while. Short pass, the ball will come back to Jared Crouch. One of the worst feelings in football, being winded, unable to draw breath. But he's okay now. Jared Crouch with a job on McLeod because of his speed. Won the grand final sprint last year. That's how quick he is. So technically, quickest player in the AFL. Kicks toward half forward. Rashudo edged under the ball by Kirk. Umpire saw it. And Rashudo was going to get a free kick. Play on to advantage. Edwards. He sees Ronnie Burns upfield. Puts it in Ronnie's direction. Long kick. Burns gets there. Hart peels off. Burns goes further forward. Perry haven't fumbled this one. Maybe within range. This breeze blowing hard. Goes with a centering kick. That's a gem to Johncock.
Well, Saddington was meant to mind him, and we might get the reverse of it. Saddington simply falls over.
We disguised the kick.
There's Saddington, bottom of the screen there. He just lost his footing and fell over when he went to change direction.
Played every game in his opening season last year, Graham Johncock. His 43rd game and kicks goals when he's playing up forward, but can go back. Distance won't be a problem. Drop, Hart is beautiful off the boot. And Johncock's got 3.
Johncock starting to rack up the goals. 6 last week, 3 again today. Really effective small option forward. And when you consider that Adelaide still to reintroduce Mark Stevens and Scott Welsh not playing today either, and they have got some goal-kicking options. Clark forward. Gets it out with the handball. Stengline, who's been very good. McGregor edges it forward. Well done, Kennelly. Read the ball well. Steers play to the outer side. Goods with athletic run. Takes the mark out there. They need to hang firm here, the Swans, into the breeze. Kick looking for Bolton. Tyson Edwards just did wonderfully well. McGregor over the top. Has it carried the distance? It has, according to the umpire, Simon Goodwin. At half-back, feeling his way back into footy after missing with a broken wrist a lot of almost 2 months of football. Down the line, Carey just with a hand in there to bring it to ground. Roberts Thompson dispossessed. Kennelly, handball on the up to Maxfield. Further afield now to Crouch, starting to get some run going, the Swans. Inside the 50, here's O'Loughlin. Good kick from Crouch. Just sat it right in the path of his leading forward.
It is a beautiful kick, and he gets the weight over Barry Hall and his man Nigel Smart. Very tough kick to actually weight it over somebody's head and then make it drop sharply enough so that the full forward or the leading player can run onto the ball without any pressure from behind. Yep.
Not massive stats for Michael O'Loughlin, but he's kicked 1 in the second term, and this, you sense, is an important kick. Very talented individual, and that's right through the centre, is it? He's made the goal umpire work, but I think it's there. It is.
He knows where they are here. Played here with Central Districts. Bounce to restart play. Clark and Roberts Thompson. Rashudo. Kirk. Edwards gets the takeaway. Carey. 1 hand, 2 hands. How good is that?
Little right hand flick. Just brings it back into his own zone. Yep. Sanditon's probably not a bad matchup for him if he plays him smart. If he looks for body contact early, Carey's going to do that to him. If he plays off him a bit and jumps over him, hook that one. Just plays off him a little bit. He'll probably fare a bit better because Wayne won't want to jump and won't want to mark it too high above the ground. He's always looking to initiate, as a forward, he's looking to initiate body contact and mark the ball with 2 flat soles on the ground.
Must be enjoying life, Wayne Carey, because he said in that interview that I was talking about earlier, summer is my favourite time of year other than the football season. Doesn't leave much to dislike about the year, does it?
Kennelly back in the Carey direction, got a fist in there. Good forward handball finds Williams. Couple of bounces from him and he'll do it again to Schneider. Great run. Schneider has a bounce. Look out because McLeod's coming. Stenglein also in there and they bottle it up. Mentioned in the halftime break term that McLeod's work when he hasn't got the ball is just extraordinary.
It is, isn't it? And some players wouldn't even chase that hard. They'd say, I'll give the token chase here, but McLeod, the benefit of going all the way.
Goodwin, almost. Maxfield. Mark Rasciuto makes him earn it.
It's unusual here. Michael O'Loughlin was given the forward 50 all by himself in the first quarter, just on the backside of the pack, and they've left Creswell one out in the goal square.
Jude Bolton bangs it forward. Here's the dangerous Schneider again. Just got a feel for the ball. Couple of Crows track him across the line.
Yeah, they went with Creswell, ran to the goal square. I think it was against Tawney, it looks like a Begley. Now it's vacant, that goal square. Smart just drops back.
Clark with the height advantage, reaches down to Rasciuto, to Smart, to Goodwin, and now to Begley. From half-back flat, no one to go to, virtually back into trouble, went to Goodwin. And he rolls it along the boundary line. That is as deliberate as you want to see it. And the umpire knew exactly that. Free kick, Swans. Had to play that, given the precedents we've had this year. Adam Goods.
There's a bit of a channel there for Goods to kick into. Barry Hall will probably... There he's on the lead now. That's the replay.
Short to Craig Bolton. Too far out to score. Adelaide Crows flooding back into the various holes. Chip kick. They didn't cover that hole. And Davis will line up. Tough angle. And kicking against this breeze. Davis yet to kick a goal this afternoon.
Amazing conversion rate this year, Nick Davis. Very good.
25 goals at 14. Kicked 31 goals, 22 last year. And will that come back enough? No. He knew what he was doing.
Absolutely he did. You heard the crowd. He gave it that much lead to come back on. They thought it was going out in the full. But in the end, didn't miss by all that much.
Paul Roos ponders what's ahead of him as Simon Goodwin in his own defensive area will go across the face. Shirley went to push off and then went to ground. Now he goes looking for Burton. Ball's just going to sit for him. Brett Burton inboard to Ben Hart. The linking run from Burton can have a bounce, or he can just pump it long down the line. Does the latter. Laddams, not a renowned forward marking option. That's a great tackle from Leo Barry.
Puts his head into the turf and his brains managed to stay in.
That's a pleasing result for Leo.
Yeah, it's always better to walk away from a tackle with your head intact.
That's it. Clark and Roberts Thompson is some of the ruck woes the Swans have since ball's out of the picture. Davis steps through, slides it down the line, but he got a little cute with it. I think the ball's going to come back.
No advantage.
And Roberts Thompson will take the free.
A reload from half-back. Long kick from Jude Bolton. Crows with the numbers, and Tawney over the top takes a good mark. In the swap for Kane Johnson, Tawney, and he'll be playing finals this year. Kane Johnson won't be. Maxfield inside 50, one-on-one. O'Loughlin! Mr. Magic takes the mark at full forward, and the Swans are a chance here. McLeod just hurt a little in that.
left
marking
ankle.
attempt.
Yeah, when he comes down, just seems to favour that a bit. Should be all right. It just has amazing talent, this bloke, doesn't he? And Ben Hart is a straight-out champ. He's done it against the highest order of opponent there.
Swans are kicking against the breeze in this third term, which is now 14 minutes old. O'Loughlin has 2. This should be a formality. We'll have to wait. He doesn't like it. Neither does the man that matters. Neither does he.
This is what happened to Andrew McLeod. Don't normally see him get as airborne as that. And just landed a little awkwardly. That left ankle Dermot Brereton highlighted. Ball back in play. Rashudo. This will test the ankle. Not quite for McLeod. Goods with another forward 50 entry. Again looking for O'Loughlin and almost finding O'Loughlin. Schneider now gets the kick going forward. Just the wrong side of the post. The Swans, a good couple of minutes here at Amy Stadium.
Gee, he is starting to really look dangerous now, Michael O'Loughlin. The last 2 entries inside forward 50 have gone to him in a one-on-one.
O'Loughlin. Now, the umpires said that O'Loughlin infringed here. He looked to get a fair piece of the ball. Free kick slightly in Adelaide's favour. Wide kick, Goods flies, and the Swans are hot. Back inside 50 towards Hall, getting back McGregor. Plays on, and they're away. Edwards wide. Tawny Peels looks upfield. Carries the target. Can the King get there? Good punch away by Barry. Saddington, half-back flank. Barry, quick to bounce up. No one to go to with a kick. Goes to Crouch. And Crouch will be happy to see that ball across the line because the Swans can get numbers back around it.
Creswell comes off at the usual time, Robbo. Darren Creswell to the bench.
Free kick picked out of that. It's going to go to the Sydney Swans and Roberts Thompson. I think Robbo nodded an agreement there with you, Dermot. That's the change we're talking about. Roberts Thompson at half-back. No option but to go hard down the line. Good big fly from Jude Bolton. That's a fantastic mark.
Goods is lurking down in the forward line now. It's pressed forward. Barry Hall. It's got a bit of space as well.
That's the direction the kick heads in. Nigel Smart just gets rid of Hall. The testimonial player to the outer side. John Cock. Extremely quick. Ground coverage supreme. Handball inboard to Laddams. Lots of space at Amy Stadium. Laddams the long ball. Carey and Saddington, it'll get to them on the bounce. Carey allows it to go past. Saddington tracks the ball back. Handball inboard to Leo Barry. Back to Saddington. Over the top to Shawble. Now Fosdyke. Lays it across the body. And a good mark taken by Nick Davis. Starting to get a lot of possessions. This is kick number 12. Over the top he goes. Look at the run from Fosdyke. Inside the 50, O'Loughlin again.
Their run's starting to worry the Crows. They're starting to move the ball a little bit better. Their handball receives are up this quarter. And it's reflecting in the inside 50s now. They're clawing their way back.
Short from O'Loughlin. Schneider.
Tough kick.
Has made it a very tough kick. They need to guard the corridor. They haven't done that, the Crows, and Bolton's taken another very good mark.
Now, normally this is a gimme. But with the swirly breeze out there, a midfielder who is not the safest of kicks, even though he has a good stock standard kicking action. Good grab.
Taking a couple of big grabs, hasn't he? Yeah. This is the second one.
This is not through yet. Really punch at this one.
Jude Bolton. Important kick into the breeze for the Swans. He started it left. He's got it coming back. Let's wait on the goal umpire. It's there.
Well done.
Back to a 14-point margin, and the Swans will come home with the breeze. Bounce. Laddams forced to do the right work, knocked it down, and the umpires found it free, and it'll go the Swans' way. Everything running their way. Maxfield Now Roberts Thompson running the Swans way. Goes inside 50 and smart. Gets caught out of the contest too easily again. Tawny Burton.
It was a clever little body contact bump by Nigel Smart just before the ball got in there.
Crowd getting a little restless. Move on the bench. Some experience. Bickley on. And Robert Shirley off. Burton long towards the wing. Biglands and Nix! Over the top takes the mark for the Swans.
Nix trying to keep this purple patch.
He's only got 2 targets inside 50 at the moment. O'Loughlin's too far away.
Here he goes. Bickley's going to sit in the hole. That's the wonderful courage he's displayed throughout his career, Mark Bickley. Amazing to see him spend so much time off the ground in this third-term term, but he was the Crows' leading possession getter in the first half.
He had 15 till half-time.
Eyes right on the ball there. A great advertisement. Perry with a big climb. Ball to the back. Bolton picks it up. Good vision finds Goods. Centre of Amy Stadium kicks a floating sack forward. Good mark. Taken by Barry Hall. The Swans really starting to worry Adelaide at Amy Stadium. Ian Perry, he's presented brilliantly all day, but there have been occasions where the ball just hasn't stayed in. Certainly stayed in for Barry Hall. Not a massive afternoon on the stat sheet for Big Barry.
You also got the situation with the Swans coming back into it in the midfield. Mark Rashudo taking a breather as pushed forward. Kirk's kept him down reasonably well again today, only 10 possessions while he's been on him.
This for goal number 1 on the afternoon for Barry Hall.
They're in
to
it.
drag the Swans closer.
Especially just couldn't find the target then.
Adelaide under real pressure. Laddams with the breeze. The lead just 7 points, and the crowd starting to sense that the Swans are the real deal. Left foots it long, carries everyone to the back, and Craig Bolton picks it up. He's done well on Burton since going onto him. Gets it to Nix. Steers it forward, finds Kirk.
Got Roberts Thompson in the centre of the ground, ignores him. Just going to be patient here.
Just battening down the hatches at the moment, Adelaide. Kirk in short. Creswell too far out to score into the breeze, you would suspect.
Well, they sit back with numbers, Adelaide, in this situation, so they leave someone like Creswell unguarded.
Kick. Tawny will park himself underneath it. Barry Hall broken up and now picks it up and kicks a goal. The Swans are within a point.
Biglands knocks it down to Stengline. Crows to half forward. Big punch away by Shawble. Laddams inside 50. Carey one-on-one. Make that Carey on his own.
That's the one that Jason Settinger I was talking about. He's got to play off him. If you see an opponent and you say, what does this bloke want to do? Now, Wayne doesn't want to jump at it. And even there with nobody actually touching him above his head, he still looks shaky.
Carey's got 2. Well, he's got 689 in total. But this third for the Crows, edging close to three-quarter time, ultra important.
Pumping, looking for Perry. Look at Rashudo get involved. The handball should have come quicker from Perry. Rashudo now gets it to Laddams. Laddams inside the 50. John Cockle Carey, well done by Kennelly to get a fist in there. Taken high, Tawny, no free kick, wide to McGregor. Now Bickley concedes ground to Ronnie Burns. Left foot shot on the siren, has missed. A behind gives Adelaide an 8-point lead at three-quarter time.
Barry Hall turned it on in the third quarter. 2 goals to him against the breeze. And the Sydney Swans are right in this. They're adrift by 8 points. It's the Adelaide Crows, 12-9, 81. The Sydney Swans, 11-7, 73.
Weather update brought to you by Morning Fresh, Australia. them a cool touch feel in all areas that are not in direct contact with the food. A few in the range include, and these are sensational, the potato cooker. It has spikes in the base which enables the potato to cook in 40% of the time as normal cooktop cooking. The fish steamer, the raised base allows any natural fat to drop to the base while the fish is cooking. Try it once and you will never want your fish cooked any other way.
Citizen of South Australia, I don't believe anyone, any responsible person in Parliament can possibly vote against it. I've never talked about early elections.
I know you may have never talked about early elections, but you certainly talked about the importance.
Wouldn't you think that I'm sitting in the box seat? I mean, I think it was Tom Playford who said he had the date of the next election in his hip pocket.
You have?
Yes, I have.
And that election will be crucial. Can he win it? He's done his best, but has his best been good enough? Philosophical legislation, like the abolition of succession duties and the winding up of the Land Commission, are hardly vote catchers. He must take some credit, though, for the international airport facilities, a hotel project, the O-Bahn, and Murray River talks. But the biggest criticism of all is that he's failed to sell his government to the people. So if he's as underestimated as he claims to be, has he only himself to blame? As we said, David Oliver Tonkin is possibly Australia's nicest premier. But 1981 hasn't been a good year for nice premiers. Witness Victoria and Tasmania. These days we expect our heads of government to be tough and ruthless. So perhaps David Tonkin's greatest personal asset, his niceness, could be his greatest political weakness. How do you think you've performed as premier?
I think I've surprised quite a lot of people. I think somebody said the other day... Oh, no, not really. Somebody said the other day that I'm vastly underestimated by most people, and I am. But that's simply because I think we were talking about this down at the art gallery. I don't parade what I do. I know what I want, I know where I'm going. I know what I want for South Australia. But I don't make a fuss and a song and dance about it.
David Tonkin. Finally, if you've been suffering post-Olympics letdown, Adelaideans had the chance this week to get revved up again. It was our turn to see and cheer our Olympic athletes and volunteers. And what a rousing reception they received. Here's some of the colour. Until next week, goodbye.
How's the voice? I've completed the set now. I had silver in Barcelona, bronze in Atlanta, gold now. So I've got the full set. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I'm going to maybe get a nice little cabinet made up for it and display them all, and just every now and then, yeah, just have a look and yeah, bring back some memories.
It's been quite amazing. The support from the crowd and the public's just been overwhelming.
Always Adelaide's the best. I'm a little bit broken, a bit biased, but no, I love coming home.
When there's a home, I think the people here, to me, is something special.
I made sure that I was home for this, and a way of, I guess, thanking the publics for their support over the last 15 odd years for me, but especially the last 4 years leading up to the Olympics.
Well, I think we should be saying, obviously, thank you for all their support. You know, the home crowd advantage throughout the Olympics was so obvious, and it certainly helped us when we were playing in every game. And yeah, it's just wonderful that they're still supporting us, because it's been, I guess, a long campaign for them and for us, and they're still coming out in droves. So I think it shows how proud they are of us as well.
We were absolutely ecstatic that we did that to get medals. First time in 76 years that diving's done it. So yeah, we were over the moon.
And how do you come down after something like this?
You come down pretty hard normally. You know, it's been a pretty big build-up, and we compete hard and then party hard for a couple of weeks. But you know, I think that's all a part of the Olympic experience, and we really want to enjoy ourselves and make sure we make the most of the opportunities. And I think we're going to have a bit of a rest, probably sleep for a couple of weeks after this.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Hello, coming up at 7, a victory for democracy in Yugoslavia. Milosevic driven from power. Why there's been a huge hike in the price of LPG and more fake cash hits the streets of Adelaide.
At 7:30, where to now for Yugoslavia as people power topples a tyrant. Conduct unbecoming, violence within Australia's parachute regiment laid bare, and taking tap to the top. 7:30.
Wayne Carey has had another stellar afternoon with the Adelaide Crows, and they love Wayne Carey here. You would have thought they had him all his career, the way they cheer him when he gets near the ball.
Kennelly short. Gets it to Davis.
Still need to get run out of their half-back line, the Sydney Swans. Otherwise, they'll go down. And the breeze looks like it's still up there, Robbo.
Certainly is, Derm. I reckon it's remained the same. Obviously, the Sydney Swans got a huge advantage in this last quarter.
Jeez, it's a famous win in the offing for them, Dermot. If they beat Adelaide at Amy Stadium, they really have earned second spot on the ladder.
Big attendance.
They're the real deal, yep. 47,000 nearly. Stengline inside the 50. Bouncing ball. Perry goes to ground. Shorble. Stolen by Carey. Runs in and kicks a goal.
At Shields, we're going to fill your world with love.
Swans still with the breeze in this final turn. Bigland's in the ruck. Down to Shirley. Couldn't get it aside. Kick away. Burns. Caught. Threw that away. Shirley. Tawney. And we'll get a ball up on the wing.
In 9 possessions to Wayne Carey, and you just know that you put those 9 possessions together, not one handball, because his foot skills are so good at just setting it all up. 5 marks, just brilliant.
Bigland's down, Williams gets it, Kirk worried off it. Shirley, who hasn't been too bad, wrapped up in a Roberts-Thompson tackle. Umpire blows the play dead. Crowd really starting to get involved now. Does make a big difference here. Schneider strips the tackle at 20, almost. Oh, Rashudo really lays into Bolton.
Just had a real dip there, didn't he? Had a real dip at cleaning him up. Dangerous stuff. His head's over the ball, but
Bolton goes inside the 50. Barry Hall, good mark. Had his own player to contend with in Leo Barry. See Barry with courage. It's all you ever see from him. And Barry Hall, just a wonderful pair of hands. Getting back to Rashudo and Bolton, Dermot, you've got to protect the man with his head over the ball. That's
absolutely
a correct decision.
And when you look at it, he really makes the wrong decision, Mark Rashudo. But it's cost them a shot on goal.
Barry Hall ignited the Swans in that third term with a couple of goals of his own.
Gee, there was some courage there by Leo Barry.
Starting to feel it now. That's the shot for Barry Hall.
Very gettable.
Just inside the 50. Kick on the way. Beautiful kick. That's a beautiful...
Centre-bounce clearances for the match. Adelaide 12. Sydney 4. Adelaide, will they get another one? No. Kirk gets it for the Swans. High towards Hall. Can't get a hand on O'Loughlin. Smart. Goodwin. Stengline. Now Ronnie Burns. What will he do? This is off the quick fire handle to Goodwin. What a career. 2 premierships by the age of 22. And Wayne Carey. Talk about careers. Just chips this one. Hoping for John Cock. Goods. Caught by Bigland. Now did he have prior opportunity? Umpire said no.
In another era, no. I mean, yes, but in this era, he was always going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Bounce. Rashudo, where you expect him to be. Where Angel's feet are tread, and Kirk wraps him up in the tackle. Sydney haven't got a great record away from home, but they are a chance to add to it.
Biglan's able to fly alone. Jude Bolton wrapped up. You sense the stakes have risen here, Dermot.
Look, there is a kid out here who's having a big effect on this game without really getting stats. He's had 4 possessions. This Lewis Roberts Thompson. He's allowed Goods to be a true follower of the ball, a midfielder. And he's taken away McGregor from centre-half back, and they're all at sea without him there.
That was Roberts Thompson. Laddam's a beautiful pickup. Ronnie Burns hard against the line. Steps around. Handball over the top. McLeod. Just the 2 possessions in that 3rd term. That one smothered.
Oh.
And the Swans concede. Dwayne Russell onto that like a seagull on a chip. He knew what was going to happen. And it's into the dangerous hands of Andrew McLeod. That was the...
I would have thought he'd been a little bit stiff there. Could have argued the point. He was trying to go back down the line to his teammate who was there.
Very tough kick if he's going to try and score a goal from there. Wind coming over his left shoulder, Andrew McLeod.
He's looking to play on here.
He goes around, doesn't quite connect, but kicks it to the hot spot. Adelaide looking for a marking player. Laddams picks it up, slung as he's kicked and misses.
It's become a magnificent game to watch.
This is where the Swans are dangerous. They're not going to go all that short with the kick in. They may go wide, but it's the secondary kick which could break open this Adelaide Crow zone. A lot of space down the spine, nobody running in there. Now they bring the zone in.
Williams to himself. Big crowd, big game atmosphere. And these 2 teams could even meet come September.
It's taken a bit long here. They've got players running to space on the wing.
Saddington chips back to Matthews. John Cock holds him up. You can see what Matthews can see. Not a lot of free options ahead of him. John Cock stands off the mark, forces Matthews to come to the near side, and Roberts Thompson.
He's going all right, this kid.
Big responsibility on his shoulders in the absence of ball. Jude Bolton. They've worked it to the wing.
Barry Hall's too close on the lead now. It's only have to be a real short kick. Goes over his head.
Ignored. Goods the target. McGregor with him. Goods! Boy, had enough of it.
And that's the effect of Roberts Thompson, because Goods as a ruck wouldn't find himself there.
Toward the goal square. Lachlan! Dangerous! Had it, but lost it. And it's dragged through off the boot of Ian Perry for a behind. Gee, had a lot of it then.
Lachlan marks them in his sleep.
Ben Hart, short, dangerously short. Didn't find Tyson Edwards, and his kick needs to be perfect too. Gets it to Ian Perry. Handball to Ben Hart. Down the wing. Lots of Swans involved there. Roberts Thompson again.
Adam Goods is actually playing as a wingman now, and Ken McGregor is having to come out onto him. And he's been a pretty stable influence in the backline for Adelaide, so without him there, they've lost their backline structure. Hence, more room for O'Loughlin.
Roberts Thompson taking his time over it. Kicks now. Again into a nest of players. Kirk, claimed by Smart. All on the ground, picks it up. The don't argue to Burton. Now he's claimed and surely must be gone holding the ball. Here's umpire Matthew James. The theatrical delayed wave before the arms was played.
Yes, the crowd went up and the umpire was equal to the theatre of the occasion. He just left them waiting for a second. Timing is everything. Smart. Long high kick towards the wing. Good mark, McGregor. And a good time to take it. Laddams back to McGregor. Wobbly high off the side of the boot. Kick out of bounds on the full.
There you see Goods press ahead on McGregor, making him chase him. Goods is going to be a factor in the next couple of minutes. He'll run McGregor ragged.
Brett Kirk, short pass to Williams, and he holds it up. The cool, experienced head of Paul Williams. Barry likes to play onto the left side. Doesn't get a chance to here. Some short leads on offer. He goes wide. Safety kick towards Goods. Williams about to get caught by Burton. Got the kick away towards half-forward. Diving mark by Tawney.
Every play becoming important. Tawney with the bounce. And then a thumping handball. Hart will look to Ronnie Burns. The kick needs to work. Ronnie needs to keep his feet. Schneider does well. Ronnie does better. Trapped it brilliantly and then missed Goodwin, who is in all sorts of space. Still free Goodwin if he wants him. Further afield, Perry the target. Goodwin will assist if he can get the hands to him. Perry does it, hangs onto it. Back to McLeod, looping handball to John Cock. Got a couple to beat. Kennelly, one of them, high inside the 50. No real direction to the kick. It's across the line.
These two players collided. These two players have just come off.
One into the ribcage here for Stewie Maxfield.
Ball back into play. Goods with the Swans virtually down a man as they replace those two. Umpire will bounce it and give them time.
Well done by young Adam Schneider too. After he hit the deck, he got up and chased. Ronnie Burns just beat him with sleight of hand on the boundary, but he still chased him out of there.
Adelaide by 9 points. Roberts Thompson got a hand on ball to tackle again, this time on Laddams by Barry, as we see Davis on the bench with Maxfield and Stevens. And Maxfield hurt in that collision. We'll go down to Michael Roberts to get an update shortly. Ball knocked to the back. Jude Bolton caught, good tackle. As we go down to Michael Roberts.
Yeah, young Schneider's just having a rub, but he actually got a bit of a knock, got the wind knocked out of him, but Maxfield also, so he's sucking the oxygen on the bench.
Bigland's high. Rashudo couldn't. Goods could. And then misses the body with the handball. Kennelly in some real heat. Free kick. Jude Bolton.
He did duck, but he was down there already.
It's hot in the kitchen. Roberts Thompson. Doing it by inches with the breeze here, the Swans.
Chauvel's run forward, drag Carey away from the full forward post. They should just change direction here, try and break up the opposition. They can get the likes of Kennelly and Leo Barry to run the ball off back line.
Burton to fly from the front, but Barry Hall stayed home and took the mark.
Creswell comes up from the goal square. He'll try and decoy away from O'Loughlin.
Play on call. Carey manages to get a fist in there. Tyson Edwards steps around Fosdyke. Short ball from that player's good to Bickley. The handball to the testimonial man, Nigel Smart. That characteristic running styles. He pumps it long, looking for Perry. To the front. Laddams lurking. Right foot shot on goal from Chris Laddams. Not the desired result. A couple of misses now for him in this final term. Adelaide out to 10 points.
Gary Ayres knows what big-time football is all about. Superstar premiership player, multi-premiership player. And coached the night grand final win earlier this year with the Crows. Back of the pack. Roberts Thompson. Williams. Spent it before he'd earned it. Gave it to Fosdyke in the end. Wide kick from his boot. And Shirley sees it out of play in front of Creswell. There's Paul Roos, another superstar as a player.
Made that timely change again for the ruckman, Robbo, of Adelaide.
Certainly did. Clark on, Bigland's off. Clark going for the knock now with Barry Hall.
Clark knocks it down to Edwards. Through traffic, high kick to the wing. Carey's coming hard. Won't get there in time to go at an attempt at a mark. Chauvel, Fosdyke, McLeod, Kirk. Umpire's found a free, and it'll come back. It's against Ronnie Burns.
This kid, Lewis Roberts Thompson, he's had a huge effect just off screen now. No wonder they've changed Bigland's off him. He's really had something to do with this turnaround.
O'Loughlin on the lead, getting there, sting line. Dumped it toward the boundary. Shirley, clever fumble out of play, and we will get a ball in. Roberts Thompson grew up as the odd man out at a rugby school in Sydney and chose Aussie rules, which was his father's sport, and he is thriving on it.
And we're grateful to have him. Clark to the front. Ben Hart The opposite to that, he thrived in a total football school here in Adelaide.
He's only played about 60 games of actual football, Lewis Roberts-Thompson, because he didn't play until late.
Stewie Maxfield comes back on the ground. This is where they really need Snyder around these types of boundary throw-ins.
Clark massaged it short to Burns. Shirley and now Smart. Nigel boxes himself in. And Tyson Edwards will need to be very clever. He is. Steers the short ball to Bickley.
Nothing ahead.
Not much on, so he just bombs it along, hoping for a contested situation. Won't get to that entry. Inside they go. O'Loughlin edged under it by Ben Hart.
For Kirk. There you go. That is proof that it wasn't deliberate down the other end.
No, they very rarely play it in one's own forward line.
Adelaide fans, pensive. Clark claimed when he didn't have it. No free. Now he's got his head over the ball. We've got a scramble. Another stoppage inside the Swans forward 50.
He looks for Barry Hall here. He'll look to try and initiate contact really early.
Pulsating game at Footy Park. Barry Hall up against Clark. Nigel Smart head over it, concedes.
Safe option. When it gets inside one goal, you don't want to give him up like that.
Or 7 points. It's back to 9. Tyson Edwards. Long kick from fullback. Hoping for Clark. And he gets him.
McGregor.
Started on the bench, Clark. Gave to McLeod. Who had a good first half. And now Burton. Bright sunshine now here at Amy Stadium. And the football gods have been shining on this match.
Shorble to Carey.
Goods flies. Almost spoiled his own man, Barry. Carey got a free.
Had him done. It was a 3-on-1.
Corey was asking for 50. Didn't get it. Short pass. Clark over his head. Perry comes hard. Roberts-Thompson put his body on the line. Saddington might seek that line. It's across the boundary. And we are ticking into time on. 20 minutes played, final term. Adelaide by 9 points.
Still just inside 6 minutes. Plenty of time. A lot of footy
Better
left.
end of the ground for the Crows. There's the skipper Rashudo around the body. Only as far as Kennelly. You wonder if he's heard noise like this for the opposition in his homeland. They love their football here in Adelaide. Kennelly. Wide he goes. Burton in best position. Terrific mark. No play on the call. Craig Bolton. Handball. The Swans are away. This is Michael O'Loughlin. Barry Hall's lead ignored. Slip it over the top to O'Keefe. O'Keefe running forward. Just outside the 50. Left foot shot on goal. Bang!
Points the margin. Adelaide lead. Swans with the breeze. Shirley with the ball. He's wrapped up.
Let's have another look at it.
That's a mark.
Yeah. Anywhere, any ground, anywhere you want to play a game of football, that is a mark bar that moment. Bounce.
Well done. Good rucking.
Clark. Caught. Ridden a little. Umpire Scott McLaren will bounce.
I've said it a couple of times. This kid's got some real grunt, this Roberts-Thompson, hasn't he? He's just pushed Clark aside on that last one.
Time's running out to him. You can call him Bob Tom. Not a lot of time to talk. It's all action, although a couple of bounces in a row. And another ball up will occur.
That's the man on screen. Roberts-Thompson. Big job and he's doing it. Fosdyke with the clearance. Around the body, it's bouncing to half forward for the Swans. O'Loughlin overruns it. Shirley picks it up. Inside the last 4 minutes of the game, he's got it to Burton.
They paid that one.
Burton with a couple of bounces. Down the wing. Long ball to half forward. Good mark taken by Leo Barry.
Got to break out the other side, which they do.
Saddington. Handball to Roberts-Thompson. A little nervous with the ball in hand, you sense. But the Swans with the run and Kennelly. Inside the 50 with the high ball. O'Loughlin and Hall. Smart there as well, the skipper. Mark Rashudo. And some wonderful vision to the ex-skipper in Mark Bickley. Inboard handball to Goodwin. Goodwin with the long ball. Carey went out against Shawble. Carey can't take the mark, but his recovery's better. Picks it up, the King. Around the body with the bouncing ball. Just the wrong side of the post. To behind.
See the knowledge there of Shawble, all that experience under his belt. Goes for the rear position. Wayne loves to be side on, maul and wrestle, and then the shrug of the shoulders. He disposes of opponents, but Shawble from behind. They're on here, the Swans. They can go the length.
Kennelly along the button. Great spoil top. Umpire play ball. Back again, the one turn on Adams. Can he kick the goal? He goes for it. Left foot kick. It sails. It's almost. It is. It's the King. The King supreme.
Call it what you like. He's as good an impact forward as the game's seen. And he's kicked 5 to drag the Crows towards victory against the Swans. 10 points the margin. You can see the time left. Clark and Roberts-Thompson. Again, Roberts-Thompson did well. Goodwin dispossessed. Tyson Edwards at ground level. Well, so much talked about the Carey trade, Dermot. Was it worth getting him here? Was the baggage that he was bringing worth the exchange? This afternoon he may have paid him back.
Today's the big payday, isn't it?
5 goals from the champ.
Today is the value against the top 4 team. He's beaten up a couple of, you know, players or opponents that are from lesser teams, and he's made, you know, a valuable contribution on occasions, but today against a very good side, slotting 5.
Kicked that one on the 3/4 time siren when the Crows were under siege, and he's done it again as Schneider picks himself up off the deck. Clock ticking down. Goods climbs high. Bode with the clearance. Perry in best position will take the mark.
He's one out, Perry again. Touch.
The ball was touched. And now, I think a free kick. No, we're going to have a bounce.
Close time on.
Been some big calls by some umpires. And that goal umpire's call on Carey, that last goal. Ultra important. Free kick here. This game not over yet. Roberts-Thompson to Davis. Big, long, wide ball. O'Keefe. He's got a couple to beat. Did he get crunched? No free. Play on. Goods. Oh, that was an important miss. Tawney dives in. O'Keefe tries to minimise the damage. But Shirley, tough. You've got to be tough with a name like Shirley. Takes it out of play and will get a ball in. 50 from the Swans goal. Still time. Clark. They'll hold it in. And now the precious seconds on the clock.
This is unusual.
Reading sadly for the Swans. He just hadn't earned it.
See Goods' head turned to the goals before he actually accepted the ball.
Clark. Goods. Shirley again. Barry. Maxfield. Loose man, Roberts-Thompson. Fosdyke threads it through to Nix. Big kick this. Can he drive it home? Todd Kennelly! Todd Kennelly! It's game on!
Tonight's the night. He is. Has seen his side. Allowed leads to Everway late. Now they're pleading for composure in the box. Clark, he can't actually possess the ball. Almost Maxfield. Jude Bolton with his head over it. And a free kick paid.
Oh, it's going to be on. There'll be 17 close in.
Gives it to Fosdyke. Inside the 50 to Goods. Takes the mark on the 50-metre line with 20 seconds to go. A straight kick will give the Swans the lead.
Robbo, you've got the great view of it down there. What do you reckon with the wind? Has he got the distance covered?
I reckon he's got the distance covered, but he's going to have to go out left. He's going to have to go out to that left post and bring it around. But if any, he's a pretty good kick, Goods, isn't he? So if he follows through with it and gives it a good ride, he'll get there.
Fremantle. Adelaide had the lead inside the last minute and lost it. Collingwood. Adelaide had the lead within the last minute and lost it. And now Sydney, they lead by 4 points inside the last minute. And Adam Goods can change all of that. Number 37 from 55 metres out. Kick on the way is ugly. Is really ugly. The worst possible result. Out of bounds on the full.
Got to press man on man now.
8 seconds remaining. Ben Hart
was it touched off the boot?
It may have been touched off the boot. We're just waiting for the umpires to confer.
No.
If it was touched off the boot, that's the best possible result.
Clark was the nearest man, and he's saying, Clark, you better take the kick. He's just going to have to go as close to the boundary as he can. Play will start when the umpire sticks the hand in the air again.
Matty Clark's got Tyson Edwards on short. He's got to actually bring the ball back into play to get the clock started.
Yep. You wouldn't want to shank it.
This is a nervous kick for Matty Clark. Just high to the contest. The clock starts. They need to bottle this up. Almost Schauble on the ground. They've got to get it clear, the Swans. 1 second. No seconds. So gone. Adelaide have won a thriller. What a game of football. Fourth against second. And it was every bit of that.
Well, a win to the Crows, but they certainly did it the hard way, getting up by just 4 points. Don't forget, Monday night on National 9 News, we'll talk to Crows coach Gary Ayres about the game, and hopefully we'll find out what went wrong in that third term. Thanks for joining us today. Please stay with us and enjoy the rest of the evening here on 9.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.